The second phase of 1.5 can be summarized with the eggplant and sweat emoji. Hello internet. We are getting Argentina and the Giat. But amidst all of the hype, someone else seems to have taken the spotlight though. And that person is Ruan Mei. She has been heralded as an absolute game changer. Just one slight issue though. We are not supposed to talk about leaks, but for it not to be allowed, it sure as heck don't look like it. I can't delve deeper into her kit, but let's just say she's so good that she's speculated to be able to match Hanya in terms of value. If you want to know what she does, a Google search is all it takes. As good as Ruan Mei speculated to be, I myself got asked a bunch about whether or not the Argenti banner is even worth considering anymore, or should we just be skipping him for Silverwolf, or heck, skipping both for Ruan Mei. This video will answer exactly that. The first thing to look at if you're in this dilemma is, as usual, your account. Here's a simple graphic of what your brain should be going through. If Ooga Booga, you pull for who you love to play with, and that's me. Otherwise, simply ask yourself what you truly need to beat the game easily. The general idea is to have two fully functional teams that can max star MOC. If you reach this point, you're set for life, which is why I'm going to preface, I don't think you should be even thinking about pulling anyone else unless you already have good enough solo sustains. They are the most important role since, well, if you cannot survive, it doesn't matter what DPS you are, if you're broken or not, you won't even get your chance to do damage. But yeah, assuming you already have enough solo sustains, let's take a look at Argenti. He very clearly fit into the damage healer role, and yeah, if I'm being totally honest, the damage healer role is one of the easiest roles to fill in at the moment. Since the game's release, we have had 7 banner characters that are good enough to burst out more than enough damage than you would need, which is why you should more than likely have some of them by now. Even if you don't own any of them, Honkai Style is a game where your supports impact your damage significantly. A simple example being, just by adding a Pella that death shreds or a damage buffer like Branya in your team, you can see significant increase in DPS. That is the same case if you have the most broken 5-star or even the run-of-the-mill 4-star. On top of that, I'm sure you've seen it before, but any 4-star characters can look busted if they've got, like, say, Branya and Silverwolf helping them out. Also, considering Ruan Mei is our first ever Harmony banner 5-star, the scarcity alone tops that of a classic damage healer banner like Argenti's, which we have seen a ton of already. All of these points towards Ruan Mei being a higher value character. Not quite so Argenti. But let's not be biased though. If we seriously take a look at what Argenti can do, he boasts high AoE damage while not losing in terms of single target damage. A lot of people forget, but if you charge his second ultimate up, he does 6 extra instances of damage. That on a single target boss is not going to be a joke. But yeah, this is similar to Jing Yuan. He's not going to do more single target damage than like Sealant, but he's not going to absolutely be terrible that it's unusable anyway, right? Argenti is also Starl's first physical damage carry that can target absolutely every enemy on both the skill and the ultimate, making him a pure glass cannon. A bit different from Clara. But the problem is honestly when he has to rely on support characters at times to get him enough energy to use his ultimate more frequently. With that in mind, it is the same old conclusion of supports being very important in deciding your DPS's potential. Simply put, if you already own some damage healers from the plethora of choices that we had since day 1, and that you're chasing for higher damage and faster clears, you should be considering saving for Ruan Mei instead. She's someone that's speculated to be a strong support, and she plays a very impactful role of being a buffer. This is by no means saying Argenti is bad though. I quite practically love him. I think he'll be fun, which is what I'm playing the game for mainly, but if you are going to be strictly saying meta talk, unfortunately I don't think Argenti will be as impactful as Ruan Mei, solely because there are way too many damage healers in the game that can do a job just as good, if not better than he can. On the other hand, Ruan Mei will probably be that character where if you have her in the team, no matter what damage healer you own, they will all get an increase in overall potential. But as I mentioned, if you're like me and you're just playing for whoever you love, I will be pulling for Argenti because I love his redhead Lord Farquaad having sparkly ass. So as a conclusion, if you're strictly saying meta talk, I do not think Argenti will impact your account as much as Ruan Mei could impact your account. If we take a deeper look at his banner, we do also have the 4-star Hanya, which is basically Ruan Mei Jr., right? They're both support characters, but that will be a topic we touch on later. We have to touch Silverwolf. I had a prophetic dream that break effect Silverwolf will do pretty well with Ruan Mei as well. Do with that information however you would. But yeah, speculations aside, Silverwolf is, you guessed it, a support character as well. In fact, she along with Pella are the 2 go-to defense shredders since day 1. If we're strictly saying scarcity, Silverwolf is definitely the one with the on-demand role here as well. To start with the conclusion, if you already have 2 strong hypercarry DPS, Silverwolf would be perfect as your second powerful defense shredder along with Pella. To explain myself, Silverwolf is still the character who can shred an enemy's defense to the highest degree, and defense reducing, if you don't know, is one of the most premium ways to increase your damage output, solely because of how how hard it is they are to come by and how the damage calculations work. That's why you can even see Quantum Set used on Jingliu. The defense shred has that much value that it can match or even outclass just the good old elemental sets. On top of that, she can still change your enemy's weakness, something that withstood the test of time. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are still using this even today. And for those reasons, she's definitely still top tier without a doubt as the literal strongest debuffer in the game. So yeah, at this point, if you already decided to skip Argenti, this will now be your conflict. Silverwolf or Ruan Mei. Both of them are likely to be very unique and high value characters as well. So to give you an honest ideal answer, well, it's best if you can get both of them. The top strongest single target defense shredder and the potentially top 2 or the strongest harmony buffer paired with any damage healer will cause some supernova tier Duke man. So if you already have Silverwolf and you have more than enough damage healers and you don't like Argenti, it's a very easy decision of saving for Ruan Mei. But if you don't have both Silverwolf and Ruan Mei, you will then have to do what I like to call waiting. After all, we don't know for sure what Ruan Mei will end up doing yet, but we sure know about what Silverwolf does. In any case though, if you're impatient, here's what I would subjectively say. In my humble opinion, buffers are easier to handle. You just buff your allies, and that's the full value, zero gimmicks involved. Debuffers will take a bit more thinking. For example, do you have enough effect hit rate? Will the enemy boss dispel all debuffs by going into another phase? It's not rocket science, but it's just easier to buff someone and call it a day, you know what I'm saying? But overall, I don't think we should gauge if you should go for Silverwolf or Ruan Mei like this. The better question now should be, would you want to pull Argenti or save for one of the two later on? We'll know more about Ruan Mei as the stream happens, and that is when we'll truly decide. And the final character in contention for a Stellar Jade would be the 4-star Hanya. Hanya pretty much does everything plus a unique role to herself. She can regenerate skill point. But after a bit more digging and using her in the trial, she honestly isn't the type of character that would just make you have infinite skill points. If anything, she refunds some of the skill points you would use. So is she bad? Heck no. She's still a very valuable harmony character, and there's just not that much harmony character to go around in the game anyway. So if you do decide to pull an Argenti or Silverwolf's banner and you got Hanya as well, it's a definite blessing and you will never be mad at that. She'll also open up a lot of new teams that require a lot of skill point to function. Just by refunding a few of them, it'll help you out a ton. But getting Hanya or not is honestly not the main concern, because in the end she's a 4-star with no pity. So but if you do decide to spend your jades on Argenti or Silverwolf, which is the main question that you should be asking right now, getting a Hanya out of nowhere, heck yes, give me that gacha. She reminds me of a character like Tingyun, where you can kind of just put her in anywhere. She gets you more damage, she gets you skill point, she also gets you speed. It's something that universally everyone would love. But anyways, to conclude, if you already have damage dealers, Argenti is not a must. But if you love him, pull for him. He won't be absolutely bad. If you are a strictly meta player, then by all means you should be skipping Argenti for some broken supports like Ruan Mei in the future. Keep in mind, Argenti will not be the top 1 strongest damage dealer of all time, at least it doesn't look like it. But do note though, if he releases with some godforsaken multiplier somehow, then this could change. But realistically, Argenti will kind of be similar to Jingyuan. They have some pretty similar kits after all, with purely just AoE damage. And as I mentioned, supports are gonna impact your damage a lot better. The truly best decision you can make is to just hold on your summons, wait for Ruan Mei stream, and then you'll see what she does. And after that, you can make your decision. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be all for my short video today. It should be a really simple one. I just want like a kind of like a PSA of something I've been seeing. Hopefully it helped out you guys in deciding who you want to go for. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hire Argenti myself. I'm gonna pull for them for sure. So hey, if you want some information on them, I'll be doing like some showcases on them as well. And that will be all for today. I wish you the best of luck in your batters, and take care.